Hello, my name is Todd Silvius, and thanks for downloading this professional development video tutorial on the Compass Learning Odyssey platform. This video tutorial will review the setup menu and student index. We'll search the student index for student accounts, and we'll create a new student account that doesn't exist and add that to one of your classes in your teacher account. Removing a student account from your class has been instructed in the previous tutorial. So for instruction on how to remove a student from your class correctly, please refer back to the previous tutorial in this sequence. So let's get started searching the student index. Over on my teacher account here, I have created two classes as done in the previous video. And the first step of adding a student to that class is checking for the student account that might have been already created by another teacher in the system. So I'm going to be adding two Silvius boys to this Algebra 1 class, Todd Silvius and his brother Matthew Silvius. So we're going to add students here, and we're going to search the student database for Silvius account holders. So when we click search, we see, oh, hey, there is a student Silvius account already listed in. It looks like somebody created Todd's for his already. Okay, and they have given a username that has been chosen by the system site administrator for the teachers to use this academic year. The grade is listed as grade 9. That's the Todd Silvius I want. So we're going to select his checkbox there and add the selected students to the class. The class that I was in was Algebra 1, and you can see that Todd Silvius QC14.T Silvius was added. Now, I'm also going to add him to Geo. So I'm going to add student. I know he's already in the system, so I'm going to search for the Silvius. And I'm going to select Todd. He's also taking geometry. I think he'll be benefiting from possible geometry remediation. I'm going to plop that Todd Silvius already created account into my geometry class. Now, both student index searches came up with only Todd's account. That means that Matthew's account still needs to be created. Now, Matthew can be created by simply clicking the Add New Student. And instead of going over to the student index right away, it's going to open up a pop-up window here that's going to allow the teacher to create the student profile and enroll this student. So you are doing an administrative role as the teacher account here by creating new users right from your teacher account. So we're going to call this first name Matthew, last name Silvius, and Matthew is actually in 10th grade. So that means his username is going to follow the 10th grader username convention. And that username is going to start with QC for our district, Quakertown Community. And then the next two digits depend on the anticipated year of high school graduation. So for 10th graders, for this coming school year of 2010-2011, 10th graders' anticipated year of graduation is 2013. After QC 13, we place a period. This separates the two different parts of the naming convention to allow for even greater targeted searching in the student index. QC13.M, first initial, last name Silvius. QC13.M Silvius is the account username that I'm going to give to Matthew and let him know when he logs in with that, he will be able to find his remediation for geometry. His password is simply going to be his student ID number. So we're going to type that in there, and that can be found on the SIS, on the PowerSchool when you log in and look up his account. Simply put the password as the student identification number Matthew uses in the password field. While you're here, you can also enter the student ID number right down there as well, if you want to. If you would like the student to read only any information in the Odyssey community areas of the curriculum, a new feature for this coming school year, Odyssey Community Read Only, check this box. Leave it as is if you want Matthew to contribute to the community or interactive collaborative tools that have been laced through Odyssey this year. While you're at this screen, you should also create a parent account for this student. That allows the parent account, however we refer to it as a coach account for obvious reasons, for the coach account to access Matthew's records and make sure that Matthew from home is also working on his remediation as prescribed by the teacher. The parent logins, or as I mentioned before, we're referring to them as coach logins, are simply going to be first and last name with the word coach. So Matthew Silvius Coach, all is one word, lowercase, no gaps, no underscores, nothing fancy schmancy. Even his name needs to be the entire first name as it appears on the SIS. Nothing like Matt, no Matty. Any Nicholases, those should not be Nick, they should not be Nicky. It is simply Nicholas as it appears on the SIS. And the password for the coaches is going to be the word welcome. So welcome is going to be the password for the coach account. And right there, not only have you created a student account, you've created the accompanying coach account for the parent who wants to monitor the kid as they're doing their work from home. Hit next, and this is the attribute screen where you can tag this user, this student user, with male or female if you wanted to, or any other intervention tiers that you find appropriate. I usually only tag only the Title I Math and Title I Reading students in here. I really don't mess around or play too much with the attach attributes when I set up new student accounts. So report running, these types of features would be very helpful and useful, but for our purposes that we've used for the last couple years, only Title I Math and Title I Reading users will help filter out our reports when we run them later on in the system. Hit next to advance to the next screen here in the student setup. And you can see this is where we need to find the appropriate curriculum that we are assigning and assign that to this student. And we can see right here, he's in the geometry remediation class. So I'm going to look for Geo. Right here it is. And I'm going to select high school leveling, the only option there is. Then I hit save. A couple things happen. When the screen refreshes, we can now see that there are two Silvius boys inside of this class. And we can see that Todd is the 9th grader here. He's going to be graduating 2014. And we can see that Matthew is the 10th grader here. He's going to be graduating a year earlier, 2013. And we can also see that now they've been added to our class. They are also cross-registered in the student index. So let's go add them up into algebra. We got Todd in here. Matthew has already been added and created in the student index, so we don't have to add new for Matthew. He's already there. We just have to simply add student. Let's look for Silvius. And there he is. He's available now because I created him for another class. This means my department mate could also have access to Matthew's account. I did the work, and I can share it with the other teachers that are using this system. So I hit Matthew, I add selected students. Now Matthew and Todd are both in my Algebra 1 remediation and in my Geo remediation courses, awaiting curriculum assignments. So to recap today, what we've done is we've gone through and we searched the student index for existing accounts, deliberately finding that we need to create a new account. One of our teammates or department mates hasn't created it yet. We took the steps to create that new student account, and then we saw how to add that to your classes. So, and again, removing a student from your class can be found in the prior tutorial to this in the sequence. Again, thanks for downloading this podcast, and I really hope you find it useful as you continue to use Compass Learning Odyssey.